biggest man-made system ever built, the electrical grid.
Maybe we don't need to speak about grids, or we don't need to speak about installations. We have to speak about a smart system.
Clean transportation is a major part of this energy transition.
There's nothing else there except for many, many, many cows. Sometimes with these new chargers, the best use location, like Harris Ranch, can be the worst power quality location.
A charge which powers up to 600 kilowatts.
We observed a strong interaction between one particular EV and the PV inverter on site with high frequency current, which is quite high because we observed some 4 amps at 10 kilohertz circulating between the equipment, so not going to the grid but circulating between the PV inverter and the EV station. And it was as well inducing some kind of earth leakage current.
8 out of 9 electric vehicles are a source of superharmonic current, and some a bit more than others, some quite low and others a bit higher. But also something important to notice is that I think 5 or 6 out of them have superharmonic components or superharmonic switching within their hearing range.
The PLC mechanism is called G3 PLC protocols. It speaks between 35 and 95 kilohertz. And so this is exactly in this kind of frequencies that you may have some disturbances due to EV charging.
There was suddenly coming up customer complaints in a small town close to Dresden, and one was that the coffee maker grinds the coffee, it throws it away and lets out water. It's not even tea, yeah? It's just water. Yeah? And what was also quite funny, at least for me to hear, because I was not affected by it, was that a hairdresser saloon, the lady, was totally crazy because their hair dryers turned on and off itself 40 times a day.
The transformer loading would reach 100% on the generalized network model, so that's not an individual network, so it might vary. Somewhere between 60 to 65% of EV penetration, and that at around 55% of the penetration level, we reach the point of about 80% of transformer loading, which might be already a red lamp for the network operators to think about an upgrade, which would lead to a change in the harmonic situation. So this we also use as a reference, that the 80% transformer loading is already likely to be the point where something changes in the network.
And the best fit was turned out to be the capacitive model for the grid impedance.
But we did have a publication also on the efficiency. It was surprisingly low. We had the specifications from the manufacturers telling us that the chargers could arrive to 95, 91, 92% of efficiency. But when we decreased the temperature to minus 15, minus 25, it could be as low as 60. So it was quite alarming.
You have to work on one subject and polarizing only. Superharmonics is not the first one. No, I agree. But there are sufficient issues to start looking at. If any of the viewers, listeners has reports on interference due to superharmonics, document it, write a paper about it, and maybe send it to CIRET next year.
The better job we do with the integration of EVs, the more this becomes a reality sooner rather than later.